everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to start chapter 4 Q. Okay, last class we had discussed chapter 3 stack. So these both are important concepts in data structure. Don't skip the video. So this chapter you can see the main difference from NCERT textbook and this one. I have done lot of changes. I made it very simple implementation of the program so that whoever is watching it will be really helpful for you to remember. Okay, so don't skip the video. And okay, before that I want to revise the concept of stack. So this is an empty stack and it works with LIFO principle, which means last in first out. So whatever the elements you are adding to the stack, it keep on adding. For example, if I'm adding 1, 2 and 3, there are 3 elements are there. If I want to remove any element, you are going to take out from the top of the element, right? So the 3 is the top of the element and it will work with the LIFO principle. So I just want to revise the concept of what is the meaning of push and pop. Push is nothing but adding the element to the stack and pop is nothing but removing the element from the stack. The same way, if you take the queue concept here, you can see the queue here. This is what the queue will be looking at. Okay, now what are the topics to be discussed in queue? There are what is the meaning of queue and what are the operations and implementation. And another topic is deck, operation and implementation. And also we are going to see the lab program. Okay, what is the meaning of queue? A queue follows first in first out principle, meaning the first element added is to be removed. For example, this is a queue. Whatever the element you are adding it first, that only you are going to take it out first. That is called a FIFO principle. And also another name you have to mention, first come, first serve. So that is nothing but FCFS principle. Okay, so you have to remember this both the name. FCFS also, FIFO principle also. Okay. And what are the examples of queue in the real life? So when you take the real life example, the best example is if you go to school or colleges, morning assembly, how you are standing, like a queue only you are standing, right? So that is an example of queue. Another one you can check cash counter in a bank and train ticket counter. If you want to take out the ticket, you have to follow the queue. And toll booth, what is the meaning of toll booth? If you go to any of the state by using the car or the bike, there are toll gate will be there, right? That only called as a toll booth. So whichever the car comes first, that will only get the pass or they have to pay and they will go into that, right? And queue in the cinema theater, right? And queue in car, of course, in petrol pump also. So these are the real life example of the queue. And what about the programming example? So you can check web server request. What is it meaning? User requests are processed based on queue order. For example, when you're trying to give in Google, there are so many things. For example, if you're opening the the window which has a Google. So if you're first Google, you are sending yahoo.com. In second Google, you are going to give a request as YouTube. So according to the queue only, it will get the request will be accepted and you will get the reply also back. So that is nothing but the web server request. And job scheduling in OS also will be taken care by the queue. So whichever the job has come first, that only will give you the highest priority and the OS will be giving the job scheduling based on the queue only. Next one is a very good example is a print queue. So when you are giving the print and whatever you are giving first, that only it will come as a first, right? So print commands also processed one by one in order. So when you are giving a print 1, 2, 3, 3 pages, the first page only will go for a first printout and second page will go for a second printout and third printout it will go. So wherever you are following the queue, that is an example of the programming example. Next, if you are taking the operations of a queue, what is the meaning of operations? Like a stack also we have discussed, push, pop, all this. So you have to remember now the term. Stack, it will be a push. But in queue, when it comes to queue, you have to mention NQ. Clear? What is the meaning of NQ? It adds an element to the rear of the queue. You have to remember this is the rear of the queue. And overflow occurs if the queue is full. What is the meaning of overflow? If you are trying to add more element to the queue which is already full means then that time the overflow will happen. Okay. Now let's see NQ of 8 I am trying to do. So this is the 8. This is the queue now. Now this will be the front and this will be the rear. So as I told you, whenever if you want to add any element, you have to add through what? Rear. Okay. And the front also the same. And what is the NQ of 9? You can see here 8 and 9. So here this will be the front. 8 will be the front. Whatever you are added, that goes to the front. And rear will be the 9. And again NQ of 10. Again I want to add one more element. You can see here. So here front will be 8 and R will be the rear. That whatever the recent element, that will be the rear. Okay. Next, what is the meaning of DQ? DQ is nothing but removes an element from the front. So if you want to add the element, you will be adding to the rear. But when you want to remove the element, you are going to remove it from the front. Okay. And underflow occurs if the queue is empty. So if nothing is there in the queue, then you can't take out anything, right? That time what it will happen? Underflow will happen. You can see the example here. DQ I have mentioned, no need to pass any argument here, just it is an empty parenthesis. What is the DQ will be having? 8, 9, 10. Then 8 will go. So whatever is there in the front, that will go. So next time you will be having 9 and 10. Again if you are mentioning DQ, then 9 also will go. Now only the 10 element are there. And again the DQ means only 10 it will be there. If you want to make the queue empty, what will you do? Again you have to mention DQ. Then only you will get the empty queue. I hope everyone clear the concept. What is the meaning of NQ and DQ? NQ means add the element to the rear of the queue. DQ means remove an element from the front of the queue. Next one is an is empty. What is the meaning of is empty? It will check whether the queue is empty. Why do you want to check whether the queue is empty? Means when you want to DQ, that time you have to check whether the queue is empty or not. Okay, during that situation, you have to check that. And what is the meaning of peak? The peak, the same in stack and queue. Whatever is there on the top element, that will be the peak. So front element only the peak of the queue. Clear? And if full means what? To check if the queue is full or not. To check whether if you want to add any element, it should not be the overflow. That time you have to check whether the queue is full or not. Clear? So the next important concept is implementation of queue. If you understand this concept, really it will be helpful for you to understand the lab program. So lab program, you are going to add only the last 5 to 6 lines, then it will get completed. Okay. So if you want to create an empty queue, how can you create? Queue equal to empty list, like a stack. An append function is used to insert an element, which means NQ, at the end of the queue. Okay. So whenever you are using the append function, it will keep on add to the end of the list, right? The same way. Here also we are going to use the concept called list concept only for the implementation. I hope everyone remember the list, it will be creating like this. And append function, whatever you are adding, it will be added at the end of the list. Okay, for example, 1, 2, 3. If I want to append of 4, where it will add? It will add at the end of the list. So this one only we can call it as a rear of the queue. Clear? And next one is a pop of 0. It is used to delete the elements from the front of the queue. Because here if you take the list, this value will be the front, right? And queue, how it will work? First in, last out, right? So if you want to take out pop of 0, you have to mention. Which means the 0 is the first index of the list. That only you have to use it for the delete the elements, or we can call it as a DQ. Clear? And index of 0, it is used to return the peak, right? Front element only we can call it as a peak of the queue. So you have to mention what? Index of 0. Then len function is used to check number of elements in the queue. To display the queue from the front to rear by printing the queue name only, you have to print it. Clear? So these are the one you have to remember. Now let's see the program. So the program is there already. I just want to tell you. So first, what is the meaning of DEF? You are creating a function now for the NQ. So NQ is my name of the function, and I am asking the user. NQ means what? You are adding the element to the queue. Okay. So A is a variable. Int of input of enter the element to be added to the queue. And Q dot append of A. What is the queue here? Q you have already created here. And no, Q equal to 1, 2, 4, 5 already there. Now you are trying to add it now. So how can you add it? q dot append of a. Q is my q name and append function I'm using it, and you are passing the argument a here. Clear? And print after appending, you are printing the q value here. Now def, now after appending, for example here a I am giving the value as 8 here. So after appending, what it will be? 1 2 4 5 8 should print here. Clear now? After that, you are creating the another function called dq. So dq means what? You are removing the element from the q. So def dq. So whenever you are checking the dq, you are going to check whether the q is empty or not. So if q equal to empty, you are printing what? Q is empty. Otherwise, you have to mention what? Q dot pop of 0. Why pop of 0? Because you are removing it from the front of it. So in the list, how it will be? You are removing it from the front. Okay. Now after removing it, you are printing Q. So this is my name of the Q. You are printing directly. Then what you have to create? You are creating the peak definition now. So def peak function. Again also you have to check what? If the Q is empty or not. If the Q is empty, it will mention Q is empty. Otherwise, what is the peak element? That also will be Q of 0, index of 0, right? So that is a Q of 0. Next, size, how can you calculate? You are going to mention len of Q here. So here printing function, you have mentioned length of the Q is len of Q. After that, def display. Display means what? Again, you are going to check if the Q is empty. Otherwise, directly you are mentioning the Q. Clear? Now I have created Q equal to 1, 2, 4, 5 as an element. After that, you are calling each function separately. Clear now? Now, let's see the output. Enter the elements to be added. I am adding 8. So you can see here after appending, what is that? 1, 2, 4, 5, 8. And after the DQ operation, deleted item is front only, it is deleting. Then Q elements after deletion 2, 4, 5, 8. What is the peak item? Index of 0 is nothing but 2. Length of the Q is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And items in the queue from front what? 2, 4, 5, 8. Clear now? What you are supposed to do? Now let's see the next one. The next concept is deck. What is the meaning of you have to remember the spelling of deck is D-E-Q-U-E. Don't get confused with DQ and deck. So DQ is an operation. You are going to remove an element from the queue. But deck is another way of data structure. So here where you can add or remove elements from both ends. That is very important. In queue, you can't remove or add from both ends. But in deck, you can do it. Okay. The front, head or the back is rear. Because of the flexibility, deck can work like a both a stack and queue. Because in stack also, last in first out and FIFO also, both data structure it will work. That is what it is called as double-ended queue. You can check here. So you can insert at front also, you can remove from front also. Here also you can insert at rear also, you can remove it from the back also. So that is what the name itself is called deck, double-ended queue. And what are the application of the deck? Again, the ticket queue, if you taking it, use the deck so returning customer can join the front. Whoever is returning the customer, for example, you want to go to the ticket counter, you are just taking the queue, especially for the tactile booking. So another person is coming for the enquiry based. So in between, he can come and ask the doubt and he can clarify and go. That is what using a DQ, so returning customer also can join the front. Toll booth queue. Use multiple queues with the flexibility to switch line. If you have the Paytm, if you are already recharged for the toll booth, you can just skip and change the line and you can be in the front of whoever is there in the queue in the next lane. You can shift the line and you can go front. That is also possible. Next one is a URL list. Use a list that removes old URLs from the end. Okay. So by URL means what? Uniform Resource Locator. So when you have a list, you can remove the old list and you can be the front of the URL. And undo and redo option also you can use it while stacks to track the steps. Okay. And palindrome check. What is the meaning of palindrome? If you take the word called madam, M-A-D-A-M, If you reverse it in from the front to rear also, rear to front also, both are having the same characters, right? That is what, to check the palindrome check also we are using the deck concept here. Clear? Okay, the next concept is operation of deck. So what is the meaning of operations? So we had discussed push, pop, like that. The same way we are having deck also, there are some operation. So as I told you, deck is nothing but you can insert and remove from front also, and insert and remove from rear also. Okay, in both the ended you can do it. Now, what is the first operation is insert front. What is the meaning of it? You are adding the new element at the front of the cube. Okay, and insert rear is what adds a new element of the rear of the deck. Okay, like a normal cube. Okay, next deletion element is, sorry, deletion front is what removes an element from the front of the deck, and deletion rear is removes an element from the rear of the deck. Clear now? So there are four only: insert front, insert rear, delete front, delete rear. That's all. Okay. Next, implementation of a deck. The same way. So first, how can you create an empty deck? You have to create an empty deck by giving the name of the deck as DQ. And I'm creating what? Empty list here. So you can see here, this is a deck, and here I'm having 5, 4, 3, 2. Now this is my rear and this is my what? Front. Okay. As no, as we discussed that deck means you can insert also this side, delete also this side. The same way you can insert also this side, delete also this side. Okay. Now what is the next one? Insert front. How can you insert front? Front means the first position you have to insert. So which function you will be using? Remember, when you want to insert rear, append function you can use it. But I want to insert what? In the first position. How can you insert? By using insert of 0 of element. By using the insert function you will be using. Clear now? So what is it meaning? Insert of 0 means it will be in the 0 position. Element is nothing but the value. I want to insert now 6th value. So how can you mention? Insert of 0 comma 6 means you can insert in 6. So one more column it will create and 6. So that will be the front of the deck. Clear now? Which function you will be using? Insert of 0 comma element means 0 comma 6. Next, what is the next function is deletion rear. Now you are going to delete from the rear. Okay, how can you do that? This one function is used to delete from the rear is by using the pop function. So pop function, if you're not passing any parameters, default the last element will get deleted. Okay, and next one is the deletion of front. How can you delete from the front? Pop of 0, right? Like a queue, how you are deleting, the same way pop of 0. Okay, the next one is get front. What is the meaning of get front? What is there in the function? So function to get the front element of the queue, which means what is the front element here? This is the front element. Okay, so you have to mention that Q of 0. And get rear is what? What is the last element? This is the last element. So you have to mention what? -1. Clear now? And one more thing I didn't mention. What is the next one is insert front. Insert rear I have can mention by using the normal append function. If I want to insert the last element means by using the append function only you will be inserting. I hope everyone is clear. By using the index value only you are just mentioning everything. Now let's see the program. How can use the deck implementation. Now this is the first one. DEF, I'm creating the function and the function name is insert front. I'm going to insert the data to the front. Front, I hope everyone remember it is a first position, 0 position. Okay. Element you are asking, int of input of enter the element to insert a front. So what I told you, insert of 0 comma element. So DQ dot insert of 0 comma element. Whatever the element you are receiving it from the user, you are just adding it here. And after inserting, you are printing what? DQ here. Okay. Now insert element at the rear. So we are using what function? Append function. So element, you are using enter the element to the insert at rear. DQ dot append of ELE. Now print after that you are what inserting, after inserting the rear you are printing what? DQ. Next again the third function is what? Deletion rear. So rear means what? Last position. So DQ, you are going to check if DQ is empty or not. If the DQ is empty, you are mentioning Q is empty. Otherwise, you are printing what DQ.pop function. So when you are not passing any parameter, by default, it will delete what? At the last element. After deleting it, again you are printing it, the DQ. Again, deletion friend, how can you mention? Again, you are checking the same. DQ is empty means Q is empty. Otherwise, DQ pop of 0. Okay, again you are printing DQ. Next, peak friend element. You are getting what is a peak friend, which means get friend. Again, you are checking DQ is empty, otherwise DQ of 0. The first 0 position only, the friend position also, peak position also. What is there in get rear? DQ of -1. Now finally the display, you are displaying DQ. Now you are creating here DQ equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and you are calling all the function now. Now I run the program. So insert the element, insert at the front is I want to insert 8 now. Now let's see, after inserting at front 8, here already we created 1, 2, 3, 4. So here 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Insert the element at rear, I am creating now 9. So what is that? After inserting 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. So this will be the rear element. So deleting item from rear is 9. Q after deletion 8, 1, 3, 4. Now deleting your front is 8. After deletion from the front 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what is the front item? The first element is 1. Rear item is 4, the last element. Items in the queue is this one. I hope everyone is clear with deck. Okay, the next concept is algorithm for palindrome checking. This is also an important. As we discussed already, what is the meaning of palindrome? This is a madam is my string. If you reverse the string also, it won't change anything. So, it is equal to the original string. That is nothing but the palindrome. If you reverse the string, the spelling, everything will be same. Okay. So, what is the step 1? Traverse the string. What is the meaning of traverse? You are accessing or you are going to each element in the string. That is called traverse the string. From left to right. You are start with the left to right. You are going one character at a time. Clear? Now insert each character into the deck using insert here. So this is my deck. I am creating and by using the deck you are going to insert the each character, insert rear, which means you are adding everything from the last rear only you are adding it, right? And repeat step 1 and step 2 for all character in the string. So you are going to use the insert rear to push to put the all the element into the deck. So first what are you doing? So like that if you are mentioning what is your deck now? M A D A and M. So this one is not there. No need. Okay. Or I will erase this one. Okay. Now we are having only this. Okay. So if you take what will be the front, this will be the front and this will be the rear. Okay. This is the rear. What is the next one? Remove one character from the front. So from the front you are removing it here. This one M and again and one from the rear using deletion rear. Again you are deleting this. So you are removing what you are removing? M and here also M you are removing it. Clear? Okay, it's not right. Okay. Next, what is the next one? Compare the removed characters. Or how can you compare the removed characters? M equal to M? Yes, the both are equal, right? After it is the equal, then if they are same, repeat step 4 and step 5. What is the step 4? Again, you are going to remove one character from the front and one character from the rear. So again, what character you are having after removing MMM? You will be having A and D and again A. That's all, right? Now you will be removing what? A and A. And after that you are going to compare it. That is what they have mentioned. Step 4 and step 5 you have to compare it. So A equal to A. Yes, both A are same. That is also equal to. After that what? If they are different, stop. So in the first time both are equal. But if they are different, you have to stop and mention what? Not palindrome. The string is not palindrome. Then in the second also, if they are not equal to, then that time also you can stop it. Now what is there in the deck? You will be having now D only remaining in the deck. Now what is the last step? If the deck is empty or has one character left, if it is a one character left, then you have to mention what? String is a palindrome. Now we are having how many characters left? Only one character. So you have to mention what? The string is a palindrome. Is it clear now? First, you are traversing the string from left to right, one character at a time. Insert each character into the deck using insert here. And repeat step 1, step 4 for all characters in the string. After that, you are going to remove what? One character from the front and one character from the rear by using the deletion front and delete rear. After that, you are going to compare it. If it is equal, then you are going to repeat the step 4 and step 5, which means you are going to remove from the front and remove from the rear and compare it again. In case if it is not equal, you are going to stop and mention what? It is not a palindrome. Otherwise, you have to check if no characters are left or any one character is left in the deck, then you have to mention what? It is a palindrome. I hope everyone is clear with algorithm. Okay, so this chapter ends here. So if you have any question, post your question in the comment section. I will reply to your question. So thank you so much. Those who didn't subscribe my channel, please do the subscription. Thank you.